of April 2020. My name is Kawira Wakithinji, once again sitting in for Tracy Mukami, who is still under the weather. This is In Other News, which is a program, a current affairs program, where we give voices of our newsroom and faces to you guys to dissect what our bulletins, our headlines mean for the common mwananchi. My panel today, Keith Atito, how are you?
I'm good. How are you
Keith
doing?
just called us crazy a few minutes ago.
No.
Say the room is full of crazy ladies.
No, I understand it's Friday, ladies. It's okay. I will try to take it easy on you. No promises, though.
All right.
Pleasure to be here.
Winnie Maganga, how are you?
What's wrong with you, babe?
What's popping?
What's bothering you? I'm good.
Baby?
I'm good. I'm
As
super
well
amazing.
as our director, ukisikia tukisema hapa Mary, karibu
Yes.
to the show.
Glad to be back.
All right, if we can just go right into it, we have the swearing of Kiambu Deputy Governor called off. What are your thoughts, guys, on this, especially considering the fact that she was named Deputy Governor just about a month ago, in the month of February? However, 11 appointed county executives were sworn in. So I don't understand what the difference was for 11 county executives to be sworn in, but the Deputy Governor could not be sworn in. Of course, the underlying issue is COVID-19. What are your thoughts, guys? But before we go into that, we have a clip of when Joyce was named the Deputy Governor, Joyce Ngugi, when she was named Governor in February. If we can have a look at what she had to say then we discuss the issue.
Governor James Nyoro has nominated former Gatundu South MP Joseph Ngugi's widow, Joyce Wanjiku Ngugi, as his deputy. Nyoro greatly praised his nominee, largely on her education's full cup.
For Deputy Governor, Mrs. Ngugi is very well known to us. She is pursuing a PhD in Leadership and Governance at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. She has a master's degree in counseling and psychology from Kenyatta University, and she is currently the chairperson of the National Council of Children's Services.
An elated Joyce Wanjiku was clear on her immediate project being a unified county should her nomination be successfully upheld.
I will take the opportunity to thank the Governor, Dr. Nyoro, the people of Kiambu who have been speaking about me here and there, to have found me fit for the position. God be my helper. I will actually do the work of deputizing the governor, meaning I'll do as per his instructions and serve the people of Kiambu diligently. And I know once holding hearts together with the people of Kiambu will make Kiambu great. Thank you.
Atito, what are your thoughts on this? What is the issue? What's going on?
Well, I smell a rat. I smell a rat in this in this whole swearing-in affair. However, let's suspend everything. At this point, I feel unfortunate for the rest of us whose major events in life are yet to happen. I think life has reached a standstill. So every event that we thought would happen, let's put them on pause. Why there are juniors being sworn in before the deputy governor? Like I said, it's smelling fishy. But let's wait and see. Maybe it's all COVID-19. Maybe it's the fever of COVID-19 that's holding up her position. It's too hot for her to take the seat. So.
Oh, wow. Winnie.
Is this COVID-19 selective?
Good question,
It's selective for the juniors, but for the senior, the one who is the deputy governor, he cannot be sworn in. I think this is the worst time to have these politicians think another, like the Kirinyaga story. We don't want, let me tell you, we have a lot of negativity right now, a lot of stress, that your drama and all the things you bring into us, we don't need it. We don't need it. We've not asked for it. whatever thing that is going on, you continue fighting. But surely right now is when we're supposed to stand together and as a country, try and fight whatever pandemic we are facing. But the least you can do is play politics at this time. It's very sad. Very sad.
You said we are playing politics. I don't know, Winnie, do you feel like this is a political card being pulled? And really, if you can just engage us on what you think is the importance of a deputy governor. We rarely hear of our deputy governors. I think top bosses, the governors are who we hear the most. Unaonaje historia Kiambu kukosa deputy governor?
Okay, si kukosa completely, just that hajakuwa yet sworn in.
Yes.
And the good thing, Governor Nyoro amemchagua already. Ni ile tu akwe too patient. See, I don't think it's politics in between. Ni akwe too patient. Time yake itafika. COVID-19 ikipungua.
But election period ya 2022 is catching up.
But you see, by the end of the day, we can't tell at COVID-19 will end tomorrow. You see, and the other thing, we can't say that it will go until 2022. No. Even if she will sit in the office for 1 year and a half, that itakuwa experience kwake.
All right.
I find it an interesting balance because while we're saying she should wait, we saw the unfortunate circumstance that Nairobi was thrown into when we waited because we wanted the right time, the right atmosphere, the right whatever.
Yes.
And then
there's never a right time, I think we can.
My mother Alexa said the right time is now.
Yes.
So yes.
All right. We hope this will be resolved sooner. Rona inaonekana analeta
Yeah, I know.
vitu watakuwa tunatarajia.
Why are you guys giving it a pet name?
We have to humanize this pandemic. Otherwise, stress will kill us all.
Humanize a killer. Wow.
Anyway, talking of humanity, Raila Odinga yesterday donated to vulnerable families in Kibera slum food worth 15 million. I understand just a few hours ago he has called to the government to set up food banks. How possible is this on such, because the pandemic is already here, it's not like we see it coming so to not prepare, it's already here. There's no food, or rather there's no enough food, but at least Raila atakama ana preach wine, amekunywa the same wine. He's offered food worth 15 million. Mulikuwa mnauliza where our rich guys is Raila. What are your thoughts, Mary?
It's a good idea, but I feel the food bank issue should be something that is standard when it comes to looking at the food basket and if the country can feed its people. I think it's not something that should be coming up right now because the pandemic is there. It's something that should have been standard such that even when we have the hunger that strikes in the northern part of this country, that the food banks are there already. So we are not telling people that, oh, donate this, they are there. The only thing we are doing is distribution. It's a good move, yes, but I think this should make us as a country think of the kind of things that we do, and especially the kind of things that the kind of policies and suggestions that the leaders do, because I think this should have been done way longer. But it's okay for now for the vulnerable people. I think it's a good move. But then looking the long-term solutions, the food banks should be there. Doesn't matter whether there is corona or not.
True. Winnie Maganga.
Yeah, for me,
Prime Minister amewezana, hajawezana?
Ameweza, yes. At some point, yes, ameweza, because you see, Tana, by the end of the day, let's say a very big percentage of people who are living less than $1 ni wale wanaishi slums, you see, and he targeted Kibera slums because it's the biggest, you understand? And also, by the end of the day, the thing is this: if Kenya will choose to go for a lockdown, slums will be the most affected places in this country, you understand? So for him choosing that particular initiative to supply sanitizers, soap, food, I think to me it was a great move. I've never been a baba person, but this time round ameweza.
Makofi kwa baba.
Ameweza.
This time round
ameweza.
This one I am not boarding.
Why? Oh my
Really?
God.
I expected.
Why?
Good. Now let me tell you why I'm not boarding on this one.
Okay.
Kenya claims, and I use claims very loosely,
Yeah.
claims to be a Christian nation. Right now we've shut down for the Easter holidays. So let me give us a Bible story.
Wow.
In the book of Genesis, we talk about a young man named Joseph.
Yes.
And Joseph was given the gift of interpreting dreams.
Yes.
And he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream.
Yeah.
The dream of a famine coming upon Kenya.
Yes.
Upon Egypt at the time. But look at Kenya. How many times have we struggled with famine and hunger amongst our people over and over again? This is when we want to create a food bank. You're closing the gate after the horse has bolted. Waste of time.
Waste of time.
Waste
Wrong
of time,
timing.
people. Kudos that yes,
Yeah.
the people of Kibra slums have an extra 15 million
Yes.
Yeah.
to buffer them in the worst case scenario.
Sure.
Yes.
However, why are we always firefighting?
Yes.
Why are we always acting like we don't know perennial flooding, hunger, failed rains, poor harvest? Why are we always acting like we don't know it's coming? And then wait for it to happen so that somebody can run and get some, I dare say, political acclaim
Yes.
because they have done their job, done what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
That's what we are.
it's okay. It's okay.
I think what
Call
Kid
me the
is
hater
trying to
today.
say is we never learn, which is actually true.
True, yeah.
No,
Kenya
we
already,
learn,
being
we
a
learn, we
third
just
world
think.
country, we should have already set up food banks. I hope this pandemic teaches us these things, you know.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, to more sad news, still on Rona. Yeah.
Corona.
It's Rona.
Kid is
Rona,
going to-
kid.
Is it a
Kid is
cat
going
in
to
your-
have me on
Is it a
air.
cat in
It's a
your living
shortcut.
room?
It's Rona.
It's a
That's too
shortcut.
long.
All right. So now Father Richard Onyango, who is the Rome-based Catholic priest who traveled back to the country, recently went and conducted mass in Siaya, and then he tested positive for the coronavirus, has recovered. That is a positive note. But on the other hand, police sasa wamesema watamhanda. This guy lazima alale ndani because he apparently infected people knowingly. This is not a new scenario because we've seen the same with Kilifi deputy governor.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys feel? Was this intentional? Do you think this was at all intentional? Should he be charged on that account? Or
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
Really? You look like you have...
I think he should be charged. First and foremost, that's ignorance, because if he knew he had the virus,
He did not... I'm assuming he did not know.
because listen, Kabera, if it was knowingly, he knew, he himself knew, and he went ahead and conducted a mass. Who does that? What's bothering him?
What's
Guys.
bothering? What's popping? What's happening?
Kawera,
Yes.
this is the point where I say ignorance is no defense. It is no defense at no point. This is my thing. At the time he came in is when Italy was hitting its highest numbers.
Exactly.
It was public information.
Yeah.
It was all over the world. He left that country knowing very well the situation as it is. You come knowing that people are people. You're coming from a prone area, knowing that this you could be at high risk. There are people who passed through UK, did not even. They only stepped through. They only stepped the airport, but only their presence being at that airport, they contracted the disease.
Yeah.
Surely, then you come. The government at the time had even given alerts. Not unless he's not in this country. Let's just speak the honest truth.
But you say the guy isolated for 5 days, kid.
5 days.
The guy isolated 5 days.
Not being given food.
5 days, really?
I doubt, listen
14.
kid, I doubt a fully functioning human being will very well be aware that I am infected
But
with the
people are
virus
evil.
and go on infecting people knowingly.
Remember,
What I'm
Kawera,
saying
people are
is-
evil.
Listen, what I'm saying is it was wrong of him not to complete the 14-day quarantine
Exactly.
period,
Yeah.
but the charge should not be knowingly infecting people.
Why
It
did
will
he
be
take
worse.
I
himself
don't
to
think
isolation?
that is the charge. I don't think that
Okay.
should be the charge. Keith.
Kawera,
Yes.
let us realize that this matter will eventually get to court. So we play with this one before it gets before an honorable justice somewhere.
Yes.
However, there's no watering down the reality of the matter. You see, as Mary is saying, ignorance is no defense.
No defense.
You have come in. You know you have been around the world.
Yes.
You know you have traveled. You have come into the country. Why do you not just? And 5 days. Where in the past 4 months have we said that the incubation
Isolation
period
period is 5 days.
5 days? Where?
Nowhere.
Why isolate
Nowhere.
yourself for the
Why,
You know-
Kenyans, why are we choosing to be mediocre?
Let me tell you, the problem with this virus is we all think we cannot get it. We all think, yes, iko lakini mimi siwezi shikwa.
Hawata ikupata.
That is our thinking.
No,
That's
Kawera, I am
That's the
personally
same
staying away
principle
from
that
people.
applied.
I'm personally staying away from loved ones because I know in our line of duty, us being the media, being that we need to move around a lot, we're interacting with people.
Yes.
I do not want to risk the lives of the ones I love in the event I ever contract it. So right now, it's between here, the office, and my house. End of story. If I ever have to move anywhere, it's on a very limited point-to-point interaction. Because we know that we will not tell whether or not you have it until a period of time elapses. That period of time is 14 days. These 14 days start afresh every day. Every day I wake up, I get here and I'm feeling okay, that's my day 0. I start again. So between day 0 and 14 days, from today is the 10th of April. I have till the 24th, earliest, before I can meet any other persons that I would want to meet.
All right.
If I don't, tomorrow, again, another 14 days. And it'll continue until such a point when we know that, yes, this virus is done, it's not moving, we've contained it 100%, we're okay. Why do you think Wuhan was locked down for 76, 79 days?
79 days. I
Why?
think hapa ndio nasema kila mtu abebe msalaba wake.
Kabisa.
We'll see how the law plays out. It will be a very interesting thing to watch out for. Anyway, in March, still on corona. Late last month, the government was to come up with an application that was going to help them trace contacts of infected people, because it can be an uphill task, you can imagine.
Yeah.
But now, there are 2 JKUAT students who've wameruka serikali, and they have actually come out with an application that as long as you have a smartphone, we can trace who you are with, when, where, how. What do you people feel about technology and the fact that it's taken university students before the government? Because the government ilikuwa imesema they are working on it, it's going to be free. Okay, the JKUAT students are also offering it for free. Sijui ka serikali hapa itakubaliana na wao ama kutaenda aje, Keith?
Well, I love the students. Congratulations to them. And this is another step in showing Kenyans and Kenya as a country to be on the forefront of digital and technological advancement. You see, we've had the rumors, stories, tales on M-Pesa. Those have been what they've been.
Okay,
and
are they true though?
Like I said,
stories
rumors, stories, tales. Finding the truth on some matters, the conspiracy theory of its own. However, on this one, I pray the government will embrace this endeavor. I remember a few days ago on the news, we highlighted a boy who has designed, has come up with an architectural concept of what isolation centers could be. Not should be, but could be. And it just shows, it comes to show that within the boundaries of Kenya, a statement used very freely of late by the government, within the boundaries of the territory of Kenya, we have the capacity. We have the know-how, we have the zeal, the drive. Congrats to the students of JKUAT who have done this. I am hoping it can be incorporated in all our systems so that Kenyans themselves can know, yes, I have made this movement, I have been within proximity of these persons. It will expedite things. Who knows? This could be how we beat coronavirus. It's a virus we can't see. Let's beat it where it can't touch us.
Winnie, do you feel like this is doable? Do you think it'll work?
Yeah, imagine it'll work. If these students are wakipatiwa support, I believe it will work. Because now, according to what I read about them, they're targeting this big tech company, Safaricom. They're also looking for Craft Silicon to also fund them. Ndio waweze kumaliza whatever they've already started. You understand? You see, in Kenya, we will actually focus on this particular app in tracing. You see, tracing the contacts. You understand? In China, they're using robots to disinfect hospitals. You understand?
Yeah.
In South Korea, they're using smartphones.
So technology is here with us.
Yeah, it's here with us. So why should we not embrace Kenyan own?
What about people who do not have smartphones? Mary, kutendaje watu wa... We hear now there are cases in Mandera,
in Mashinani,
places that are not so developed, where there are no smartphones or maybe
smart
poor
internet as
network
well.
connection. How is this going to play out in your thoughts, Mary?
Unfortunately, it may go the way they've been doing it, that is doing it manually when it comes to the remote areas. But in the urban and metropolitan areas,
Which is the hotspots.
that can work because you see the places are crowded and you come into contact with so many people. That said, as I said, as the issue of food banks, innovation such as this, we need, I know there is iHub and all that. I think we need also, when it comes to innovation, because we are living in a world whereby technology innovations are new every day. So where we can find people, don't just provide a solution at the time, but even in other eventualities, or somewhere they can be capacitated and be given the necessary support, such that we don't hear these students only made it and it died there. That it was done, a government took it up as something that and supported it, and every other person or stakeholder that is involved, and it was used for the benefit of the country. Because moving forward, we can't. It is very apparent to us that technology is what is going to help us in the fight against COVID-19.
Mary, if I may, I remember at some point saying, I'm looking forward to the world after coronavirus.
Yeah.
I pray to be there. I'm really looking forward to it because this will change everything. I was just talking to one of our hosts, Linda Lela, saying there will never be a normal.
We can never return to normal.
This will never be normal again. And I know guys are toying around with BC now being before Corona. And yes, I feel we'll have a new BC. We'll have the biblical BC and the new age BC because our lives are changing.
Actually, in the US, wanasema even after Corona, we should never shake hands again, because I think that's one of the most rampant ways to spread germs, not just the virus, but germs in general.
Germs in general.
Even after Corona, now we understand we really don't have to shake hands.
Even after Corona,
we can do away with that tradition.
Just to slide in, even after Corona, we should continue sanitizing our hands. How many children?
Oh, wow, you think we'll be that disciplined, Mary?
How many children? How many diseases have we prevented? Like in a cholera? How many?
What I feel like our view of sanitizers as a country is ni dawa.
Yeah, sure.
Tunaona sanitizer kama dawa instead of a hygiene routine.
People are looking at sanitizer kama dawa, fine. However, I told you guys, my Ndichoma guy has a hand washing station. The Mutura guy has a hand washing station.
Hizo Muturas don't the same way.
Imagine.
They're not going to taste the same.
They're not just the same, but like I said, I am looking forward to a whole new world. I feel like I'm in Aladdin the movie right now.
All right, let's move over to Botswana.
Yes.
You remember Botswana lawmakers were asking for an extension of the state of emergency, or rather a lockdown, to 6 months. And while they were debating that in Parliament, someone comes to test them, a health worker comes to test them. They're tested, the day is over. The next day, the health worker who tested the lawmakers tests positive for coronavirus. And now the entire Parliament, Botswana, is going into quarantine. How is that?
Wow.
What I think it's crazy. What's happening?
Entire Parliament?
What's happening, Mary?
Hey, let me tell you. That's a disaster. Let me tell you, it's not laughable, but I'm just trying to imagine.
Actually, it's not laughable at all.
Yeah,
it is not.
I'm just trying to imagine. Those people probably, they didn't know, the MPs, and probably went into contact with their family members.
Yeah.
Sure.
And friends, and whoever they came, the damage. Oh my God.
No.
I don't even to think about it because it's just going to be.
And that's the
nothing
problem
else.
with this virus, because once it infects you, it's a chain now.
Yeah, that's a chain. That's a whole chain. 15 MPs, count
Guys,
each 20.
I'm curious about one thing. We've established Parliament as an essential service because they are lawmakers and no country will run without Parliament. And we are saying Botswana's Parliament has been exposed and is at risk. They need to go into quarantine. Are they quarantining in the Parliament or in their homes?
I'm not sure, but I want to believe it's the government facilities for the same.
And
the
furthermore,
only maybe if you can loop this in on your thoughts as well. Yesterday we had our MPs refute claims that they are infected with the virus. But now we see in Botswana, which is equally an African country, they are ready to take the chances, they are ready to take the precautions necessary. Difference yetu now wengine nini surely. What do we lack?
Ni ile ulisema kitambo. Remember when you said sisi tunakuanga, I don't know what. There's a term
Indisciplined.
Indisciplined.
Actually, that was kids.
Indisciplined because it's a culture thing. Because if these people would take it as serious as it appears, as serious as we are seeing, honestly, we don't have to wait where we count, God forbid, in numbers of people who are dying of every day. Like, it should be taken with the seriousness. And sometimes I feel so bad when the CS Mutahi Kagwe tries to address us and, you know, point us to the message that this thing is serious. I have seen it.
And we are done playing.
You know, you're playing around. It's serious, people. You know, when he said we are headed to the worst time, it's because he's seen it. His family members, he said, I know it's a nephew who's been quarantined. I mean, it's that serious.
Do you feel like this is a good move? Because even the president himself will be under quarantine.
Yeah, I think it's
How
a
do you
good
think
move.
the leadership of the country is going to
Now
be affected?
that will be the problem. Now that the entire parliament plus also the president, itakuwa disaster. But also by the end of the day, I believe these people have the assistants. Maybe they might step in.
There's no assistant MP, my dear.
We are not in Kenya. We are talking about Botswana.
Yes, even in Botswana, there's no such thing as an assistant elected.
No, we're talking about the president.
Presidential
Because
Okay.
even for himself, he needs to
President,
self-quarantine himself for 14 days. So yeah, I think it's a good move, but waeke tu mtu akae kwa hiyo kiti.
All right, Mary has talked about Mutahi, and I remember seeing a meme on social media that Mutahi ametukelelesha hadi nikiwa home na inama because we are feeling shame on us, but
But
we
shame
are
on us
happy.
indeed.
True. So we are
Shame on us
mannerless. Kid
indeed.
said, Kid, are we mannerless? Please
We are a
repeat.
mannerless society. We have
Upotevu wa nidhamu.
Bas, ukosefu wa nidhamu.
Tunafaa kunil down, si wote tuinue mikono. Anyway, we're going on a short break. In other news is going on a short break. We'll be right back with more on the segment in other news, where we will be giving you stories that have not necessarily made headlines but are important to you and to us as well. See you in a few.
Want to grow your business? You can simply do so on our 24-hour nationwide TV station. Email us on ads@tv47.co.ke. Or simply call us on 0748 205 604.
205-604.
Talk to us today, because the growth of your business
Is our business.
is our business, right here on TV47.
The coronavirus pandemic has not just infected thousands of people around the world. Sadly, thousands of people have also lost their lives.
The virus is here in Kenya, and unless we do something about it, thousands may die.
Our healthcare system cannot bear the burden of this virus.
If too many people become infected, we all know that our healthcare system will not be able to handle the pressure.
We stand to lose many, many lives.
You, me, or our loved ones could lose our lives.
To avoid this from happening,
You and I have a part to play.
Sanitize your hands. Wash and disinfect your hands regularly.
Wash your hands frequently with soap and water.
Don't touch your face.
Please observe social distancing.
avoid going out of town or being in groups with so many people.
And most importantly, you must stay at home.
Please stay at home.
Stay home.
Don't go out to meet your friends.
Stop your children from going out to play in groups. In fact, limit anything that takes you out of the house and follow government directives.
Please let us follow government directives.
Stay at home.
You must stay at home.
Dear Kenyans, stay at home and save lives.
Stay at home
and save lives.
Stay at home and save lives. I beg.
Stay at home. Let's stop the spread of coronavirus.
Care for me
as I care for you. And together, we will beat this thing.
Stay at home and save lives.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is In Other News. Remember, you can engage us on social media, that is at TV47KE, across all social media platforms. On Facebook, naona Solomon Injedi anasema Thika Ikolok. Thank you so much for watching. Zakaria Omari says you must be loyal to the governor, Hatutaki deputy governor. I think that is in regards to the Kiambu story, as well as Mbogo with a very jina staki kujaribu kupronounce. Anasema good work Bwana Nyoro, the future is luminous. Thank you for watching and continue engaging us across all social media platforms. Now we are going to the next segment, which is In Other News. But before that, Keith, you're banning. Please.
Yes, thank you, Koera. Thank you.
Trust him.
Wacha trust him tuendelee bila makasiriko.
Yes.
As you're saying about picking up from the Botswana issue of MPs going into quarantine, we know that it can be done, that our parliamentarians don't have to sit in the August House. The same way Christianity is not about the church as a physical structure, it's about the faith. The August House is not about the building, the parliament building. It's about you being able to pass legislation for the people. In the UK, they're using an online platform called Zoom, where you can hold a meeting across people virtually across a number of people. I have watched many companies in Kenya doing the same. So this is a good thing. We need to cut down on our MPs' budgets and sitting allowances.
I think the other day on this very show, Leangari had suggested the same. I don't know if our leaders are taking note. Please. But moving on to In Other News, guys, Easter is one of the most celebrated Christian holidays across the world. And even right here at home, it's the time people spend to go see your family members, share some good food. I don't know if it's Easter in itself in the Christianity tone, ama ni juu tunakuanga na kalong ka holiday. But this year, because of Rona, or for the sake of Keith, I'll say Corona.
No, call it COVID. I don't call it Corona.
COVID-19.
Corona is a car people used to drive.
We've been forced to celebrate Easter virtually, and it's a somber Easter. There's no all that glitz and glamour of waiting for Christ's death and resurrection. I don't know, Winnie, you're a Christian, that I know for sure. Yes. What are your thoughts on this Easter's mood?
I think today, this time Easter will be boring, as in from the look of things, it will be super boring. First and foremost, yes, we are on pandemic. So there's no way we can celebrate. There's no way we can call our friends, our family members, or relatives all together to come and celebrate. You understand? As in, so to me, I think it will be, I don't know, but I hope this will never, as in this pandemic won't recur again come next year. So yeah, I don't know, but God is for us all.
Mary mtoto wa pastor. How is Easter at home with the whole,
I think it's a time we've been taking things for granted. That's for sure. I think just as the same way we've been doing to churches, that it's all about the faith. It's also about at this time to reflect on our, relationship with God and the significance of the whole celebration. I think sometimes we are taken away by the festivities and the eating together, which is not bad, but the whole essence and significance, the same way we do with Christmas, that we don't carry the significance, is not carried with us. We only, take the festivities and the eating and the drinking, which the fellowship is okay, but also look at what's the reason for the season.
Kids, profess your faith here and now. Profess here and now.
Okay, let me put out my problem about what COVID-19 has done to this amazing 4-day extravaganza
Wow.
that Kenyans
Wow.
are now missing out on.
Yesu anasulubiwa, hiyo inaona extravaganza.
Extravaganza on your head.
People, do you know how every year, the Thursday, Monday, Thursday, is usually such a thing, because that is when every petrol station is being lined up with Subarus
Yes.
that are about to go out of town.
Yes.
Naivasha and Nakuru make a boom at this time because everybody has decided, you know what, 4 days and I do not need to listen to the boss. But this year, yes, you're not listening to the boss, but also there's nowhere you're going. There's nowhere you're going.
But anyway,
it's
I
very
think
confusing for most of us actually. You know, we have a long holiday. You know, we usually look forward to Easter. I think guys have sat home for so long right now, they're like,
Not again.
I'm tired of being at home.
You know, that's the funny thing. We all wanted to stay at home, but now that we actually are staying at home, it's not that fun anymore. But I think as Christians, it's just important to understand it's more or less what we have in our hearts. If you just take up the suffering of Christ to be the full meaning of the basis of Christianity, then we'll be good to go. I can see Anderson Kenga's just joined us. He says it's sad that Easter was postponed by COVID-19. Sad effect, but it is what it is.
You know, Kawira.
Yeah, Solomon Kaunanko also says he's watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Someone else says he's watching from the new Nairobi Metropolitan. Sijui ya kupande gani na diaspora.
Nile ni extendiwa from Kamulu. Ikapelekwa Koma Hills. Huyo ndio ako huko. Kamulu na huko.
Alright. Siku hizi tumii visa kuingia Nairobi.
Hapana.
But thank you so much. So guys, COVID-19 originated from China. And theory has it that mtu alikula bat mahali. Imagine we are suffering because someone somewhere alikula bat. A bat. Do you know how I feel bats? No mtu alienda akadishi bat. So I don't know what you guys think about the Chinese government now actually putting out laws of what you can eat and what you cannot eat. I think the interesting thing I saw is that they actually wanafuga the ostrich, fox, raccoons.
Fox.
What's going on, China? What's popping? What's happening? Kids, what's wrong with that? What's happening?
I remember the first time we brought up Chinese delicacies. I defended Chinese because with a population of 1 billion, you will not have enough cattle, you will not have enough...
Oh, wow, really?
Wow. Yes, really? Yes, and that was actually the premise on which they were allowed. The government said, you know what? Yes, as a government, we will not be able to put enough heads of cattle together to give you, our populace, the food you need. So, if you can kill it, if you can catch it, kill it, eat it, by all means, do you. And I understood it. I agreed with it. Now I'm looking at the list of animals that they have agreed to have on their livestock panel. And amongst them are deer. Deer is part of the livestock in China going forward. Foxes are part of the livestock in...
Alpaca. Ostriches. Foxes.
Yes, foxes.
Hata kama unasema kuna shida ya chakula.
You said foxes are not to be eaten, but trust humans to experiment. We do very, very weird things with ourselves. But foxes, I want to know. I will have to research further, and I think I'll get back to you guys on this, either on social media or next time we meet. What are you keeping foxes for?
Exactly, really.
No, I'm not surprised.
Wafuge ostrich, wafuge. Sizikae tu. There's a reason they're called wild animals. I should believe.
No.
Why are we domesticating them and allowing us to eat?
God told us we have rule over all nature.
Oh my. Do you agree
animals
with Keith
and plants?
So Keith, okay, fine.
He gave me dominion over everything.
Keith, listen.
Yes.
So you want to tell us, now that God gave us that authority, now you want to tell us now we can eat baboons, we can eat, elephants.
Because in Western Africa it is not a delicacy, right?
Yeah.
No,
are they
in Western Africa,
baboons mukula alafu iletea bola hapa.
The last time you people ate wild animals tuko na corona. So
sasa wanayeta bola
with me. Are you experimenting with food as to that extent?
You're going so far and you forget in Kenya. What happens when we happen to find a hippo wandering out of the parks? What do?
But it's not a common delicacy.
Okay, and what happened?
Si kila siku
What Avana Ingo? Yes. Our scooty drums are made of crocodile skin. You think we'll kill a crocodile and just
Keith,
throw it back in the
let me
water?
get this straight, Keith. Are you in support or not?
I think he is.
Because Keith is.
I think he is indirectly. He is, but he is indirectly. Hataki kustand.
Chini ya maji.
Honestly,
Please,
ni chini ya maji.
kuleni.
Kid is behaving like an African parent. Ule wafanya kenye unataka.
Yeah.
Alafu kisha ukifanya anakuambia mimi nilikuambia.
But that is how we were raised. I remember as I was growing up, my father would tell me, you're grown up now. I'm not giving you the keys to my car. But if you do take the car, it is upon you. You will fuel it. If you crash it, you will know how you're coming
Looks
back to
like
this
you
house.
adapted the philosophy. Anyway, we can only hope that these animals are actually safe for human consumption. Otherwise, we might end up with another pandemic from God knows what. Jujuzi tena nilisikia kuna a virus caused by rats. Again from China. Anyway, far from food, because it's actually lunch hour.
Yeah, hungry.
On a sad note, still in China, we have a clip that I'd like to play of a Kenyan lady, I believe from Nigeria, was complaining about Africans are now being treated in China after they lifted the ban from Wuhan, which was the original epicenter of the coronavirus. And now, inasemekana Africans, sisi ndio tuko na corona, and we should leave the country. If we can have that clip play, then we can discuss that.
If you want to use a bus and you enter a bus, all the Chinese come out. They all come out and they leave you in the bus alone, like they are protesting they can't travel with an African. Another challenge is we are not allowed to use, like, to go to the supermarkets to buy what we want. We cannot use the hotels. When we go there, after checking your passport, the only thing they tell you is go away, please go away. When you insist like you want you want something, they call the police, and what the police tells you is please go away. Then another issue is another challenge is some of our friends have been thrown out of the houses they've been renting with no reason, not anything. The landlord just comes one morning and tells you, please make sure that today you leave my house. And another thing is, another challenge is, they are forcing us to test for COVID-19 because they come to our houses with no notification. They just come to your house and ask for your passport. If you're African, they tell you that we've come to test for COVID-19. If you're not African, they tell you no. And when they come, after testing, they only tell you that we shall call you after 3 days when you're positive. And if you're not positive, no one will call.
Can it get any worse? Keith, we are here. I remember when Corona was new in the country, even before we reported any case, some people were jeering at Chinese nationals, telling them "Nyimko na Corona," and it was termed racist. Now, cards are playing against us. Keith, unaonaje?
If you actually look on social media right now, the top trending subject is China must explain. And yes, China must explain why when they were the epicenter, they called for mercy from the world. I remember here in Kenya, the Chinese ambassador to Kenya spoke alongside our government, asking for Kenyans to be tolerant of the Chinese nationals and Chinese and Orientals in general, because unfortunately, not everyone is smart enough to tell the difference between a Chinese and other Far East Asian nationals.
Japanese.
So all of them are considered, anyone from Oriental Asia is considered Chinese. And they came out and asked us to be tolerant. I remember people coming out to say that Africa should not be the ones to play a racial card against anyone because we know how it feels like. And so right now I feel justified in asking China, through the Kenyan emissary from China to Kenya, I'd want them to explain to us, what is this? How dare you? On what audacity have you?
I love the question, how dare you?
How dare you?
Wait, did you feel like
how
this is a racial card? Because I think whites are exempted from this. I'm made to believe, my camera person says I said Kenyan lady from Nigeria. Wow, I meant African lady from Nigeria. I think I'm just agitated. Nime jam. Niko na makasiriko. Really, do you think this is a racial card being pulled here?
Yes, a very big one, in fact. Because you see, by the end of the day, we've here, yeah, we're speaking of Kenya, we've really accommodated them. You understand? Tumeachwa wamejenga mahoteli, you know, they have businesses.
The other day a Chinese was caught on camera beating up a Kenyan employee.
But you see, by the end of the day, they termed it as they were playing. Yeah, it was a game they tend to play.
Wow.
The bosses tends to play with the employer.
Wow.
But you see, by the end of the day, it's not something right. As in, it is not like it is not something that is right. Because hapa si accommodate. They should also accommodate not only Kenyans, also Africans who are living in China. Because sioni mistake wamefanya. You understand? Claiming that hao ndio wanaongezea the cases of corona, I don't think it's right, because it didn't come from an African.
Yeah, Mary, even I understand even landlords are throwing their tenants out on the streets. One of our local televisions had an exclusive on this yesterday night, and it's a sad state of affairs because Africans now are being told they are the cause of coronavirus in China.
It is very sad because this hits me home because I have my friend in China right now. And once I saw that, the first instinct was, how are you doing? Has your landlord chased you? Have you slept in a right place? And once that issue came up, I remember I shared with the rest of my colleagues of how the situation is. And she's lucky enough that she's with somebody who is humane and understand the situation. But it is very sad that China would do such a thing when the deaths initially were the Chinese themselves, not the Africans. That is something that, because that is such a racist card. And it's very unfortunate when humanity is being tested, that is when they know to turn against these Africans. And so I'm not going to advocate for whatever Africans are doing, but if they are doing that to African countries, what do you expect people? People don't forget some of these things. Right now, they are not able to fly in their people to come get them because normally that is what even happened in South Africa when there was that crisis about xenophobia. That is what they did. Right now, they can't fly. What do you expect them to do? They can't buy groceries. My friend was telling me she cannot buy, some of her friends cannot buy groceries. Somebody entered in a bus where the Chinese, he was the only African man. And the Chinese alighted all of them, left them like that. I think it's very wrong and very sad as a country. And I think the world needs to act upon them and let them face something serious because it's sad. It's very sad.
I'm very Pan-African, so if I begin to put my 2 cents on this word, nitakuwa na makasiriko mingi sana. But I can only hope that humanity can equalize us for once and for all. Yes, Keith?
I feel we should term it correctly. The word isn't sad. The word is despicable.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. It's actually even sad to have to discuss this on national television.
Yes.
It's really sad.
Someone tell China.
Before we go to the next post, I can see David Kaunanko says he's watching from home quarantine to stay away from this coronavirus scare. Thank you so much for watching, David. And now if we can move forward. What are you doing at home? Now that David has said he's watching from home. A recent poll suggests that 81% of people who are working from home the world over are unproductive. What wanafanya nini nyumbani? Have you downloaded TikTok?
No.
What are you doing? Actually, TikTok is one of the most downloaded apps in recent times because people just want to entertain themselves. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on this, Keith? 81% of people working from home are unproductive.
Well, if I say that, my boss will have an issue with me.
But Keith, you do work from home sometimes.
Yes, I work from home, and unfortunately, my work from home cannot be any bit leisurely because it's very engaging. However, let's not say that we are unproductive. It's that people have realized that when you're spending time in the office, of the 8 hours you're seated in an office space, you're not using 8 hours. You actually work for about 2 hours maximum.
So if guys who are you speaking for, Keith?
Speak for yourself.
We're speaking for other industries. I'm speaking for other industries I've worked in. Because in media, unfortunately, when the running around we tend to be doing, even here at TV47, it's a marathon. It's a workout on itself. See my size, 1 GB. You cannot graduate here.
Maganga, 81% of people working from home are unproductive. What do you think about that statistic?
I tend to agree because
Ndio mnaharibu vitu.
Hapana, sikiza. Because unaona say watu wanaona they have enough time. You understand? So you work for 2 hours, then the others are like, let me do this. Let me try this. You understand? Hey, you download TikTok. I have a colleague, yeah? A camera lady. Yeye na TikTok. One WhatsApp group.
But is there anything wrong with entertaining yourself? Really?
I think when we are working from home means you're gonna use the internet. Using the internet, that means sometimes you may not be able to control what pops up, especially in terms of news. So unaona hizi sad things, you're like, no, I have to look for something to
at least to entertain,
to entertain you and like switch off from Nini. So that's why. And
I think we're just not used. I think a majority of us, the world over, are just used to dressing up and going to the office. So working from home is something new. We don't know how to deal with this.
No, guys, we don't have the dressing up, by the way.
We don't have the discipline to actually.
You also don't need to dress up.
Do hatuja dress up now. Hatuja dress up, hatujafanya face beat.
Because working from home doesn't need you to dress up. You understand?
All right.
Now, Mary, let me just ask us.
Okay.
What is the definition of productivity? Is it that, so I'm supposed to turn over a certain report? I've turned over the report.
No,
There's nothing
you
else
see,
I
there are
need to
few
do.
boxes you can tick across that, Keith.
Yeah.
And productivity, I think this will mean most of the time you're asleep or you're on social media for leisure. Or
because when you're in the office, it's any better.
Writing that email.
When you're in the office, we know ourselves. I can.
You know yourself. Say you know yourself. We know ourselves.
Okay,
you know yourself.
Hold up. I am on the back end of digital. I'm able to see the graphs of what the world is using the digital space for. So I know the digital curve drops between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. when you guys are in traffic. From 8 a.m. to noon, I have all the audience in the world. Why you are not working?
Before Keith Achome, let's wrap up with what's trending. I'm sure you guys have seen Museveni working from... not even working from, working out from home.
Yes.
We can have that clip of the head of states play, then we can discuss what this means.
It's good to go outside, outdoors when there's no problem. But when there's need, you can go indoors. This is just an office. Because I don't have time, I always do my exercise here, or even in my home, my room. So you start by warming up.
Ndio hiyo president basi.
Aya,
ana work out from home because you can now. Keith wants to work out in studio. Keith, you work out in the morning or in the evening.
And you not in the afternoon. What's up? Lunch hour.
I told you there is no more normal. There is no more normal.
But Winnie, do you feel like that's encouraging enough for people to know that you can actually use the space you have at home to be productive now that 81% of us are unproductive?
What? Anyway, I think what I think is Museveni alikuwa anataka tu ku flex muscles zake. Because you see listen Mary, listen. Why at this particular time?
Let me give you the backdrop.
Let me tell you what Winnie thinks. It's because it's a high profile individual.
No.
Someone else, it wouldn't be so
weird. Of course. Listen, guys, can I give you the backdrop of this thing?
Yes, Mary.
Yes. So we know Uganda is under lockdown.
Yeah.
So see, venye sisi tumezoea activities inje, and so even now we are seeing people exercising in the morning. So ilimfikia that there are people using whatever, I saw he wrote on Northern Bypass, some road to exercise in the morning. So when giving his State of the Nation address, that's when he addressed some of these issues and said that you can also exercise from home. And I will do a video to demonstrate
but
as your leader.
It looks like he was dressed for it. Anyway, in the interest of time, I think we can leave it at that. But I feel like what Museveni did was prudent. He's showing us that you can actually use your space and be productive. But people were always complaining of weight, kukunya spinach. This is your chance to actually work out from home without pressure. Yes, kid, in the interest of time, Haraka.
Yes, there are those of us who are confined to living spaces where from our bedroom we can see our entire wealth.
Again, speak for yourself.
No. Again, speak for yourself, kid. You have not been to my place, so I'm speaking for the masses.
All right.
Yes, we are from these places. We cannot act like we're never there. So if you're still in that space where you can see your entire wealth from the moment you step into your door, you'll find a way. Don't worry.
Anyway, sawa Keith, you tuta take off air, tuta discuss kidogo. But thank you very much for everyone who joined our watch party on Facebook. I can see tukona numbers. Thank you so much for everyone who contributed to the show, as well as the panelists Keith Atito, Winnie Maganga, and Mary Gitao, as well as the behind the scenes, our camera personnel, Noreen Wamboi. Behind the scenes takes a lot into this production. So asanteni sana for watching. I think we'll leave it at that. It's Furahi Day. It's Furahi Day. It's a wrap. What's happening is it's Furahi Day. Asanteni kwa kutazama. My name is Kawira Wakithenji. For more comprehensive news, Upewa TV 47 saa 1 kamili. Thank you for watching.